talk my come on.
It's Madden NFL 24 on EA Sports, where we'll see teams who have been division rivals since 1961. It's the Philadelphia Eagles and the Green Bay Packers, and it's all up next.
Historic Lambeau Field fittingly it butts up against Lombardi Avenue here in the heart of Green Bay, Wisconsin. Tonight we've got a good NFC matchup on tap, as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Green Bay Packers. Welcome again, one and all. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Brandon Gaudin on hand alongside Charles Davis. And yes, the storyline here, the weather. Snow and more of it expected as this game continues. So how will that impact how this one goes?
Can these teams ignore the distraction and the strangeness of playing in a snow game? Because it actually affects the crowd as well. That big roar you get is often muffled when there's a snow game. And the second part, what's the footwear you got on? Does that fit the turf you're playing on? And how will it handle as things get a little bit slick?
Set to get this one started, and we are underway here at Lambeau. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
Tremendous production in college at two different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for a Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
Hurts throwing right away. Packer pressure, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down. How about the defense there trying to set the tone on the very first play of the game?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a glow here tonight because they brought the heat right out of the gate. What a good job establishing a tone for this one.
Second down, here's Hurts. Catch made here by Campbell. Short completion, just 4 yards. And it's going to be third down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. Now he's free at the 35. And he'll finally be taken down at the 18. A big play there on the catch and run. 63 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. They'll run for the first time with Saquon Barkley. And they'll get him down right around the 16. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
This is 2nd and 8. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Devontae Wyatt on the tackle. It's a gain of 4. And it's 3rd down.
3rd and 5. Here's Hurts to throw. Devontae Smith, touchdown, Eagles. Devontae Smith on the receiving end from Jalen Hurts. And the Eagles have taken the early lead on the road here at Lambeau. Well, Charles, here in their opening series, they said they had certain plays scripted for certain players. That looked like a well-designed play to get one of their top targets involved.
Yeah, let's face it, Brandon. A player of his talent is a problem for any opponent to defend, and we saw it right there. They tried to deny an open lane to him. He still outplayed the coverage and scored the early touchdown. Good luck trying to figure out how to defend him as this game moves on.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Nixon elects not to return it, and this comes out to the 25. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by a first-round pick in the 2020 draft out of Utah State. This is Jordan Love.
Every time he leads his team out, there's no questioning. He's put the work in to earn his place in the NFL. There's no shortage of stories we've heard throughout his career about the effort he puts in to be in this spot. And that motivates everybody on his team.
Love and the Packers now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Extra receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Play fake. Here's Love. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
The last run went so well for them, maybe they should have just handed it off right here too. Instead, the quarterback ends up keeping it, and the defense is right on it and wipes away the yardage gained on the last snap.
Tough spot here, 3rd down and 11. Love. He's got him in, complete. Down to the 10, touchdown, Packers. Christian Watson, 76 yards. And the Packers are able to strike back quickly with an opening touchdown of their own. They said that they wanted to get him involved early, and what a way to cap their opening drive, Charles. We know he's one of the fastest receivers in the NFL, and he showcased it on that play.
And when you have a guy like that, you want to make sure the defense sees him early, right? You want to see how they're going to adjust, how they're going to try and guard him, because they can't replicate his speed in practice unless they've got one of the few guys who are as fast as he is. And all it took was one drive, he burned them, and I don't think it's the last time they call his number in this one.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time out, Charles. Remember, they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try to do it again.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely, frees up your guys elsewhere. Second down, here's Jalen Hurts. Over the middle, complete. It's Brown. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Hurts connecting there with Brown for the Eagles first.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
So from the 37, here's a 2nd and 4. Throwing is Hurts. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Campbell. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. These two teams all tied after 1. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. As they've got it as we resume action. Play action. Here's Hurts. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
7th play of this drive coming up, and a long way to go on 3rd down. Hurts. It's caught. Smith. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. And that was a heck of a play there on the outside.
Partner, sometimes they think on a play like this as a corner, you've got to think to yourself, all I got to do is slow him down so others can come over and support. But in this case, he said, forget that. I've got this. Sorry you had to make the run for nothing, fellas.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with this better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm, but I love even more your observation because, look, what they did last time out, now with a shorter field, they should have a lot of confidence that they're going to put more points up on the board.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And some space here. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. 43 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Once again, it's Jacobs. Only a yard of the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to have the Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
First down, Love to pass. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them off the scoreboard here.
Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing, Love. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. So off goes Love. On is Carlson for the Packer field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So after the made field goal, here's Carlson to send it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
On first down, Hurts. Throw left side here, complete to Campbell. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Hurts sets up to throw it. And this one complete to Smith. And Devontae going to pick up the Eagles' first down as he'll be brought down at the 42-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Back to throw here. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Campbell. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. Again, he'll drop to throw. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
The touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll look to throw again. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The defense surrenders a 13-yard pass play there on 3rd and 1.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Devontae Smith with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Eagles will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. That could be an important swing right there. A touchdown in the final minute of the half to take the lead.
And I like the point you just made there. Could be an important swing because now that they have the lead, if they can carry that into the locker room at the half, they'll feel really good about what they accomplished in the first 2 quarters.
You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And the lead is now 14-10. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Keyshawn Nixon now on the return. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Packers with a football here late in this first half. With his slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. On 1st and 10, Love. Over the middle here, it's hauled in by Watson. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Love. Got his man. That's Luke Musgrave. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
On play action. Love to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Good defensive call right there because they had someone shadowing him along his entire route. And he was right there ready to provide a hit that prevents him from making another catch to his big start.
A 2nd and 10 on a chilly, snowy December day. And I must say, I'm loving it. Kind of putting me in the holiday spirit. Charles hates it. And he's giving me the evil eye, folks. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, it hasn't been a banner first half for the defense trying to cover him today, but they'll take that one right there, helping force that incompletion.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Love now. The throw left sideline falls incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
On 4th down, the Packers call on Daniel Whelan to punt. Britton Covey deep for Philadelphia. Taken in at the 22. So possession goes over here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. And he'll just burrow his way back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports halftime. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Not much has changed since we left you at halftime. The snow still continuing to fall as we are back underway. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the 2nd quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
Jordan Love ready on 1st down here. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 56 yards.
Brandon, there have been some memorable snow games for championships in the NFL. 1948, Philadelphia Eagles, Chicago Cardinals.
Well, the most famous one of my lifetime, I think, is got to be 01, right? Raiders, Patriots, to send the Patriots to the Super Bowl.
You had to go to the Tucker Roll, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one people remember. But I also know this. In Miami, the infamous one, the snowplow game in New England, when they went out there and the Patriots had a guy come out and clear a spot on the field for their field goal kicker to kick the game winner.
Is that 82?
That was 82, and the Dolphins fans will never forget it.
Well, we're not seeing one of those famous games here, but it's fun to be in the snow nonetheless.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the 2nd half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Love now to pass on 1st down. That's complete to Wicks. So the completion gets him just a yard, and it's 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now 2nd and 9. To pass, here's Jordan Love. That's hauled in by Musgrave for a Packer touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Packers have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. Defense just has to hate those guys.
Just drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Carlson's extra point up and good. And it's now 17-14.
Eagles 14.
So now Carlson, after the touchdown, called on to send this one away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. Isaiah Rodgers. And it'll be an excellent return as he's all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
That strong return has set them up nicely for this drive, and we all know the next score is going to have a major impact on this game.
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, one-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth, almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side, trying to match each other.
Barkley with a carry on first down, and he'll get about 4. So 2nd and 6 forthcoming.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. They'll give him 4 yards there. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down.
Well, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's going to have an Eagles first down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Again, it's Barkley. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. A loss of 1, now a loss of 2, and they're staring at a 3rd and 13.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Hurts. A tough throw there across his body. It's incomplete.
That's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. This a 31-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will tie things at 17 all. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And he returns this to the 22. Christian Watson and the rest of this offense back out now. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here 1st and 10 at their own 22. He'll give it to Jacobs to start the drive. Oh, what a move. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. The 71 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
Now a throw here to his running back.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Love, they go play action now. And that is incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Love. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Down to the 10. Touchdown, Packers. Romeo Doubs, 63 yards. And the Packers have moved out in front here in the final minute of the 3rd quarter.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Carlson on for the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now. A drive there of just 4 plays. And that drive all capped off with a Romeo Doubs touchdown. Carlson back out there now to send this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And they'll begin by running the option. And they're going to stop it right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so he didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. 2nd and 10. At Lambeau. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the fourth quarter. And he powers his way up past the 30. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
From the gun, it's Hurts. That is caught. Room to maneuver at the 35. Now he's loose down the left sideline. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Devontae Smith, 69 yards. And the Eagles are an extra point away from tying this game here on the 4th. It's been quite the game for him individually. A trio of touchdown catches now.
So pick a route, any route. Whatever you want him to run, he's going to do it and do it well and end up in the end zone. This has really been fun to watch.
Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Another drive coming up for this Packers offense. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back.
Let's go now.
He finds his man, complete. That's Reed. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 84 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10 on a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. They will run the draw with Jacobs. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. On now is the Packers punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. It's Devontae Smith and the Eagles ready to go on offense. So far, he has the trio of touchdowns. Obviously, it's been a pretty good game for him.
So if this were hockey, they'd be throwing their hats out on the ice for the hat trick, right? I'm not sure exactly what you do in the NFL except applaud and continue to hope you see a little bit more of this. What a tremendous game.
You want to start a new tradition? What can we throw on the field?
I don't know.
Throw your mic out there.
A lot of fans would like that. Cut his mic off.
3 touchdowns so far. Now a 2nd and 10. Running left, it's Barkley. Shreds the 10. There he goes, left side. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10. They'll go to Barkley again. Trucks over him. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Now a toss right to Barkley. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. And 2 big plays, one after the other. Now all of a sudden, they're on the march.
Got to feel good about what they've just gotten done, and now feel really good about what's in front of them.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Throw on 4th and goal. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. So a big kick coming now for Jake Elliott. This to take the lead here in the final minute. The kick by Elliott is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. So here's Love and the Packers. Down 27-24, 50 seconds to go.
Here we go.
Love looking to throw it. Open man is Musgrave, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Love. Got Dobbs over the middle. And he's got this down to the 35. This is 1st and 10. One last shot now for Love. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, Charles, I know you have a lot of questions. So do I about the decision there at the end. It had the potential game-tying field goal. Yes, it would have been a long field goal, but they passed it up, and they lose the game.
And you're right, partner. We all have questions, but I don't think anyone's going to ask the question more forcefully than the person who signs the checks for the entire organization. Why didn't you run the field goal kicker out there? You had a chance to tie the game. Looked like a makeable kick. Was the kicker hurt? Did you just not like the field conditions? This head coach is going to have a heck of an explanation.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. And now we get to deal with a foot of snow in the parking lot as we say so long from Green Bay.
Love it here. This is Maui with snow.
That's one way to put it. So long, everybody.